And welcome to In-Game Chat for Saturday, February the 26th, 2022. It is Season 16, Episode 7. And I'm Scott.
I'm RJ.
I'm Wendy.
If you want to get in touch with us, our phone number is 334-272-9228. Check out InGameChat.net for all the links to get in touch with us. You can find us on Twitter at InGameChat. You can also find us on Facebook. You can email us, everyone, at InGameChat.net. We are streaming right now on Twitch. Go there, twitch.tv, search for In-Game Chat. You'll find us. You can also join the chat room live while we broadcast. If you need help getting to any of this stuff, you want to join in our Discord, which I can see Josh is already in there. But if you want to join us on the Discord, where we can talk to you on the air about, whatever game you've been playing, whatever gadget you picked up, whatever the case may be that you want to talk about, you can do that by going to our website, ingamechat.net, and then scrolling all the way to the bottom, there's links there to get into our Discord. You can make sure those links still work. Discord's kind of weird about sending an invite to somebody, and it says you can make it last for 5 days, 7 days, never expire type thing. And I always pick never expire, but every time I go back to one of those, it's expired. So, anyway, I'll have to make sure that it still works from the website. But we do have a Discord that you can join us. You can join in with and join us on the air there. So, let's see. Anything else to mention as far... Oh, yeah, I can do this. Take the little clapboard that I have. This way I can sync up the audio for the video later.
Clap, clap.
Yeah, for those of you who just listen on the radio and you hear that noise, yeah, every time we do it. If you've never watched the show, it's a clapboard basically from that you'd see in movies and stuff. But I do that because it makes a noise, and then I can look at the audio and sync it up with the video when I go back and edit all this stuff. So that's the problem. For some reason, over time, as far as playback is concerned, not if you're watching the stream or anything like that. That's fine. That never messes up. But when I take the video portion and I load it into the editor and I look at it, eventually the audio doesn't sync.
It drags behind a little.
Yeah, it eventually becomes offset for some reason. Yeah. And so I have to go back and edit it. It didn't, and I don't remember at what point it started doing this. Mm-hmm. I would love to remember that so that I could go back and think, what did I do different from last week's show to this week's show to make it happen that way?
Yeah.
No clue. No clue. So, yeah. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Josh, he's mouth around in the thing. He's Drunk Degenerates on here, and he's Josh when he calls in. So yeah, like 3 different names. You're like a DJ there, Josh. Completely different names that you respond to. So, welcome to the show, and let's start with Let's start with Wendy. What have you played? Animal Crossing.
I played more Animal Crossing.
I know. We figured out how to figure out if the artwork we were being sold was fake or not.
Exactly.
That's going to help us out a lot whenever it comes around.
Mm-hmm.
So we can get our museum stacked with artwork, legit artwork.
That's right. The snow left the island yesterday.
No
so
more
snow. I had
snow.
to go around, and I've been doing a lot of maintenance and things.
We need to take the Beautify Island thing off. Remember, there was
no one does it. No one ever does it,
but it's the reason that the plants keep growing back.
Oh well, we need
one of the reasons they keep growing back because I mean, you don't see them planting, but the residents of the island will beautify it by planting flowers and things like that.
Well, then I go behind them with my little shovel.
I know.
And I have to, okay, so we need to disable that.
So we need to turn that off, because then it becomes just, it's too much.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that, and let's see, I can't think of the name of that game. The one that I told you.
That you just built a character for and never played?
I told you I've been playing that game.
Oh, have you? Okay.
Yes. I just can't think of the name.
The one that I bought?
The one, yeah.
XCOM.
That's it.
Yeah.
I've been playing that.
XCOM was on sale on Amazon. The digital version for Switch was on sale. And I don't know what the normal price is of the game, but it was $5. And that game is easily worth $5. I mean, I have it on my PC. So I was like, ooh, put it on the Switch. I can take it with me now. Although I know now with the Steam Deck out, you can do that as well. Yeah. But, and we'll get to the Steam Deck. Somehow. I don't have one. Matt, I think, was in line to get one. He is not on the. He's not in the Discord right now, but I want to say he was in line to get one or had a reservation in. So, and I haven't talked to him to see if he got an email to purchase one yesterday. But they did go on sale yesterday. As far as if you reserved one and your name was close to the beginning of the reserved list, you would have gotten an email to go and purchase it. So, but yeah, mine says after Q2 of this year. So, who knows? And I only put that in there because it's like, okay, I'll put it down. If this is the greatest thing in the world, then I'll be ready and I can get one. And if not, because my place in line is so far down the list, there's more than enough time for people to find the problems. Or not necessarily find problems, but give it enough of an assessment to know whether I want to wait for a revision or, oh no, this is okay, I can go ahead and get one now, if that's the case. Better yet, if it goes long enough, I can just wait until they do the revision. If there's more information about here's what's coming in the next one, I don't know. It's a brand new thing. And this is also something that we're not sure that Steam, and I know we're just jumping into this after whatever, this is how we do, we tangent. Steam, or Valve, essentially, they don't tend to stick with their physical items. You know what I'm saying?
You saying it's like Google with their programs and apps?
Yeah, a little bit. But this is with physical objects. Like
physical problems, yeah.
Steam did the not the Steam Deck, but the Steam Connect, I think is what it was. It was a little device that you could plug into your HDMI thing on your computer, or not your computer, but on your monitor or your TV, and it would stream your PC Steam stuff to your television. And then they had the Steam controller. Remember? It looked like an owl face.
Yeah.
They didn't revamp the controller. They didn't revamp the Steam Stream thing, whatever it was called.
I'm trying to remember what that thing was they gave us with a purchase of Icy. I think a game was on sale and it gave you some apparatus free on Steam. I can't remember what it was.
It was probably that little device that streams from your computer to your TV.
Thing, yeah. That was a while back. I think it's still in the box.
Yeah, I know. I still got that at the house. I still have the controller at the house as well. And I used it for a little bit, but the problem I ran into was the input lag. At the time, this goes back a ways. Yeah. It could be better now. I've not given it a shot, but the input lag in between me wanting to move a character, make a whatever the case may be, wasn't always the smoothest. So, let's see. What else has Steam made? They've done the VR thing, and they're still doing VR. I don't hear a lot about it, but I also don't hear that they're going to be doing any kind of revision on that either. So Steam Deck might be Steam Deck for a while, outside of the fact that they may refresh them in a few years to keep up with the new tech type stuff. I really don't know. I don't know. And it could be this is all you get of it. It's hard to say if that's where we're going to go with it. Now, that's something to talk about a little bit later on, and I know I probably said most of it right now. But anyway, so you played XCOM, Animal Crossing. Did you do anything else? Did you Play anything
No,
else?
I did not.
Yeah.
I just, as usual,
And how
enjoyed watching you.
Yeah,
You
that's
know.
right. That's right. And we'll get to what I played. But you said you play. Okay, you did play some XCOM. I know you said you built a character in there, but you did actually go further and play some. Then.
I did.
Okay. How did you like that?
It was different.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit different from what I have been playing or what I've tried to play in the past.
Right. Yeah.
So I think I could probably get a little bit further
Yeah.
with it.
You should
maybe.
go through. You should go through the Switch case that I have because there's game slots in there, the physical kind, not the ones that are already downloaded to the system. You should look at those and pop one in, see if you like what's there. You know, I don't know, because I've got like I kind of was interested in you playing Civilization.
Okay.
6, I think it's 6, maybe 5. I don't know what it is, but there's Civilization game on the Switch show.
Oh, I'll try that.
Yeah.
And yes, Bama Bryant, I have been killing it on Wordle.
Been doing great. My Wordles have been. I 5 or more tries. 5 to 6 tries to get to the word. It used to be better than that, but not anymore.
Well, you have a little bit more on your mind in the mornings
than
than I do when I'm playing. So
yeah, I guess I do. So, RJ, what about you? What have you been playing, man?
I haven't been playing too much, really. I mean, I've been still sticking with Warframe this whole time. I've been still
no jump back into Hellblade.
Not yet. I mean,
Okay.
I'm still finding too much stuff with friends of mine.
Be careful.
Playing
Don't do what I did with most of every game I ever play. Take too long of a break in between, and then
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Forget where I was.
still know where I am. I still got to get that second door past the Cert the Fire God. Now I got to go to the Illusion God, so I can imagine what the boss battle is going to be there. But I just have to get there first. So I just have to go through that, and after that, I have no idea what to expect after going through that bridge or whatever. But for the most part, it's been Warframe because I've had a taste of factions now to join throughout the game, and right now I'm working on some stuff with the Vent Kids on Venus in a place called Fortuna. There's the K Drive, the K Drive, the skateboards, basically skateboards really, but it's hoverboards really. Working up stuff with them and building up enough points with them to get higher rank, and at higher rank I get more mods to put on my board, which can basically turn that thing into a weapon.
yeah.
A really nice weapon from the videos I've seen from players on YouTube from a while back. So it's going to be a grind working through that, and if I get more friends to play, it's going to be a easier time of doing so. Yeah. And I did. I picked up Elden Ring.
Did you?
The only thing I did was put it on the system, and
What
it
did
already
you-
had a update for it already.
What system did you pick it up on?
PS4.
Is it? I didn't know it was on PS4.
Yeah, it's on PS4.
I thought it was just PS5 and Series X and PC.
No,
I did not.
PS4.
Well, you know what? It is on PS4 because it does have the upgrade path to
Yeah.
PS5. You're exactly right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Wow. This. You know what? I feel better because I really watching reviews and watching little bits about because I was curious.
Yeah.
It's not a game that falls into my wheelhouse. They never have been. I've been the closest I've ever come to doing anything in those games was Bloodborne. I really like the aesthetic of Bloodborne.
Yeah.
I like the setting, the aesthetic. I like everything about Bloodborne.
Price was good too. I think at the time it was like what, $15, $20.
I think I got it for $7 when it was their greatest. It was a greatest hits type thing.
It's greatest hits now. Yeah.
But I played it somehow. Either I bought it and then took it back, or I did a GameFly, or I rented it, or something. Because I did play it originally, but I don't remember getting very far into it. But I did like what I played, and I put some times into some of the Dark Souls games. I never played Sekiro, but Sekiro. But I did try the other stuff, and it just didn't do it. Bloodborne was the closest I got. Elden Ring is kind of giving me temptation to want to step my foot in that world again to see if I like this.
Yeah.
It's tough. I read reviews, and man, it is glowing. The reviews are glowing for this thing, and a lot of them say that. Yeah, it's got Dark Souls aesthetics to it, or it's got Dark Souls it's a Souls type thing
From Software, so yeah.
But they're also saying like, but it's so apparently it's better than what those were as far as the way it plays out for you, the way you go about doing things, the fact that everything's unlocked or everything's open for you to get to. You can just go explore if you want to. I don't know.
Sometimes it's not the best thing in a Dark Souls game.
Right.
Because one of the popular things, funny things that happened to a buddy of mine who played, his experience was he was a thief. And I want to say it was Dark Souls 2 this was in, but he was a thief. And what happens is the thief is given basically a lockpick. So a thief can get into places where they're not technically supposed to go. So he was opening doors all over the place, and he went to an area where there was almost a boss level NPC there that fought him. I think it was Havel the Rock. Basically, a dude wearing rock armor with a rock shield and a big petrified dragon's tooth as a weapon. Yeah. Basically, he got one-shotted when he saw him. He was doing a lot. As a thief, he was nimble and quick and everything like that. But eventually, he's going to get tagged one time.
Yeah.
He got tagged one time, and that was it. Yeah. Back to the bonfire. But so yeah, if everything's open, everything opens up at the beginning, then yeah, I'm guessing it's going to be a lot of places you're not supposed to be.
Did you just get the regular version of the game? You didn't get any kind of special?
I just got the regular one. I didn't get the special edition. The only one that was available was like that and like big one. I wasn't really into that one, not that much, but I just wanted to get the game itself. Yeah. And then when I was talking about, someone was telling me about the big version of Horizon Forbidden West. All that stuff in like Chris was talking about, all that stuff in no. That
thing is huge. See, we haven't talked to Chris. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The version that I bought, the Regalia, whatever the thing is called.
Regalia.
Yeah. Yeah. That finally showed up Sunday. The day after we did our show, it showed up on Sunday. Now, I had already made the sale on eBay, so luckily it showed up in time before the UPS store had closed. Wendy and I opened it up just to make sure that everything was correct, wasn't damaged or something like that, and I wanted to get any kind of backing slip information out of there that had me on it or whatever. Even though working through eBay, the guy's got your address, name, or any kind of info you put there so they can kind of get in touch with you. But we didn't open the actual box, but we did open the packaging box and then pulled the regular box out. This thing is massive. One of the biggest boxes I have ever seen for a video game outside of, I think, The Last of Us 2's special edition. And I didn't even go for The Last of Us 2's special edition. Like, I just went for the statue special edition. The one that was above that was the statue and, like, her backpack included. And I didn't even go for that one, so I don't imagine how big that box must have been.
I'm trying to think of something to compare it to, like an appliance or whatever. The box of if you bought a microwave, the box of the microwave comes in, something like that.
I mean, if you stand it on its end, you might have a height, depending. I really don't know what I could tell you.
But a big box.
A very big box. I mean, the dimensions of it are on the Amazon page for it, which is where I got that from when I had to put that stuff into my eBay listing so I could get a packing slip printed out and everything. Yeah. But yeah, it's massive. Massive box. And I'm actually, now I'm perfectly okay with the fact that like, that's fine. Yeah. I don't care. Back then, though, I mean, she can tell you, last week I opened it up, I was like, man, I really want to keep this thing. It's just, I can't. Yeah, man. Oh, I'm sorry.
Turn me back on. Thank you.
Yes, you're
Luckily,
welcome.
the delivery person came before the UPS store closed.
Yeah.
Because that was the thing. It was like, I don't know. You know, if it doesn't.
My justification was that
we need it out of the house.
Yeah. Part of me was hoping it would get there before UPS closed so that I could get it right to the store and get it out of my sight. Right. The longer it sits there, like, like a Pandora's box or something.
Basically, this big box of temptation staring you right in the face.
An easy temptation for me to go back there and tell old boy, hey, man, I got to cancel the thing. They've canceled my order. It's not coming in, blah, blah, blah. Throw out any excuse I can, give him his money back, and then walk away with this giant box. So if it had come after the UPS store was closed, it's likely I would have somehow talked myself into it, made it.
The mental gymnastics that would have been going on.
Right,
and,
dude, nothing like the likes of which you've never seen in any Olympics. I would have turned and twisted logic in such a way that it would have made me convinced that sending that back was going to, well, just be the worst thing. So you might as well keep it, right? So yeah, I'm glad it's gone.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's gone. I'm glad it's not in the house. I wanted it to kind of go with my first statue that I had of the game, you know, because I have Aloy, and then this big thing, whatever. Because interesting thing, we watched I didn't even talk about my Destiny special edition, Destiny Witch Queen special edition that came in.
Yeah.
Didn't even talk about that last week, but somebody did a comparison. So the special edition of the Destiny 2 Witch Queen thing comes with a ghost, you know, one of the ghosts.
Yeah.
But it's the Hive's version of the ghost. Because the Hive now have the Hive can have supers now and everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, the very first Destiny 2 release, or Destiny 1, I think it was Destiny 1. It was. Destiny 1 originally released in a special edition that is no longer for sale that had a ghost inside of it, the replica of the ghost. That ghost and the ghost that they did for this one are scaled to be the same. In other words, putting the first ghost next to the second ghost, they're going to look as though they came from the same thing, and not one being bigger than the other, smaller than the other. They look exactly the same. They scaled it at whatever that is, to kind of go with it. Did they do that with the Horizon? I don't know. I mean, I don't care now.
It's not Destiny. He doesn't care.
And it wasn't a thing. It was just a neat little thing that they had done. That wasn't something I was concerned with, but it was a neat little thing they had done. It doesn't matter to me because I never opened that special edition of Destiny. I bought a second copy, you know, and that was only something that I did after I found out that they were not going to restock the special edition. This was long before they had ever sent me that special edition. They just never restocked it. And then they issued a press release, or they issued a statement saying that, yeah, what we had is what we had. It's gone. That's it. We're not going to make any more of them. And so that's when I knew. I was like, well, you know what? I'm not going to open that one then. I better go buy another one. And bought a second copy of the game to keep that one closed. And what has it done for me? Absolutely nothing.
I think we should open it and investigate. You know, I love to open things, and yeah.
How about hitting up the eBay and investigating how much one of those go for?
Is it called Destiny Ghost Edition?
I don't know. Probably.
You remember the box that came in, right?
PS4.
Remember the box came in? It was a big gray.
It was a big old gray looking box.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I got the ring with it. I'm looking at it on Amazon. It says used from $285. So let's see what that says on eBay. I think it's called Destiny Ghost Edition.
Probably.
Yeah. Probably over a whole bunch of.
Bama Bryan's asked, did it have the game in it? And I'm guessing you're talking about the large box. We didn't open up the Horizon box, but we know for certain that it did not have the game in it, because we have somebody on the phone. I'm guessing this is Chris. Right? Chris. Yeah, we have Chris on the phone who got his box and it didn't have a copy of the game in it, and he wanted to file a complaint with management. Hey, Chris.
What's going on?
So when last we left, you were disgruntled and looking to take it out on Sony. How did that go?
Well, seems like they don't want to make it easy at all for you to get in touch with them. You can't send them an email. You can pretty much can't call them on their phone. Can't talk to them. You know, I went through the Facebook chat and sent them a private message and got a response that this site is not monitored and everything. So basically, you know, a bot responded saying, you know, we didn't get your message. So I'm going to end up writing them a letter and send it to old snail mail. Is the only way I know how to do it. Send it to their main office branch in California or wherever it was.
Okay. So you got nowhere. You didn't get it. You didn't even get a person on the line or anything, huh?
I ended up talking to somebody on a live chat, you know, through the cell phone. But they pretty much didn't care, and I had to go into detail and explain why I was mad that it didn't come with a physical disc and everything, and like, you know.
So how long will you continue to write them and pursue? I mean, do you just want a response from them, or?
I'd like to have at least a response, but what I got from the other guy, you know, he basically couldn't do anything, you know, they couldn't give me a difference or refund. They couldn't give me a coupon code or something to get the extra content that came with the big box set and everything. So
Right.
I've also seen some videos and people are commenting that some of them actually got a disc with their version of the game, you know, with their box set, unlike they're not supposed to. But maybe some of people packed them in by mistake or something. But I
Possible.
haven't seen no proof of that.
Or possibly the game retail store didn't know that no disc came in. They were like, well, here's your disc. I've seen mistakes like that before.
Oh, yeah. Somebody walks into the game store. My box didn't have a disc in it. They're like, oh, we're sorry. And then they give them a
And they give
disc.
them a disc. Yeah, I've seen that happen before. So yeah,
You know, whenever it was manufactured, who assembled, you know, all the collector's edition. You know, maybe it's somewhere on that line something happened and they didn't know any better. But
in that case, maybe, but this was planned from the beginning.
yeah.
It was set on the box, and probably wherever you purchased. Where did you purchase this from?
GameStop, of course. I didn't have no reason to look up into it and everything, but you know, whenever it
Did you physically order it from? Did you go to the store and order
I
it?
physically ordered it
Okay.
from the store, and you know, none of us knew at the time until we, you know, showed up to pick it up that day. But I had no idea. You know,
You might have a legit, okay, so I don't.
This might be one of these things that starts something. I mean, they're probably going to put something. I thought it was clear, like the little fine print or whatever, but they're probably going to make it blatantly obvious
See, if you
from this
order
point
it
forward.
if you order it
that no disc comes with
online,
their stuff.
if you order it online from either GameStop, the store, any of that stuff, if you ordered it from online, you probably have no recourse because somewhere on that page, at some point, it says disc not included, only digital copy. If you go into a store and talk to a sales rep and say, I want to pre-order this, and they don't tell you that, by the way, it only comes with a digital version of the game, if they don't mention anything like that, you could conceivably have an argument where you go back and say, I didn't know it didn't come with this. I would like the game. They also have the recourse to say that, well, sorry, we can't help you. You can turn that in for a refund if you would like to and buy that copy or just buy a copy of the game. But you might, in the slimmest of chances, Chris, you might have something there because you can tell them that wasn't made clear to you when you pre-ordered it.
Yeah.
At that point, your complaint moves from Sony to GameStop, and then you're going to be dealing with them. You might actually get somewhere with them, probably better than you would with Sony. But then again, at the same time, maybe not, because a lot of people bought this thing, and if they do it for one, they feel like they're going to have to do it for everybody else, and they don't want to do that. So
But I also talked to the manager, whoever was there at the store, and asked them if there's anything that the way they could pass up a complaint through upper management through GameStop, and where GameStop could pass on a complaint directly to Sony, which he said no, that wouldn't be able to do anything like that. That it was to be, it wouldn't even be worth it. They couldn't do that. So I know I can't do it that way. But the only thing else, like you said, I want to just write them a letter. And somebody said something like, something like help at PlayStation.com, where you could send them an email or list it some way. But I can't remember what the web address was. It's either help or support at PlayStation. So I want to see if I can find that. And I ended up trying to send them an email through that one if I can find a link or wherever it was I saw it. But I want to go both courses and then explain what the whole situation was, explain what the internet deal was until recently, about 3 or 4 months ago. And, the discs are cheap to make and everything. And they made the box, and they even has the holder in the still box.
I know.
And
it's the weirdest thing that you get a game case and no game to go in it. That's one of the strangest things.
Here's a steel book, but there's no disc inside for holding.
Yeah.
And other people that did unboxing videos and stuff are complaining about it too, and other people commenting are complaining about the whole situation. So maybe if they get enough grief and everything, and people get in contact with them in some way and make their voices heard. But I don't know. But of course, I've still at least got a physical standard edition that I can play with the disc. But of course, all the bonuses and everything, probably wouldn't amount to nothing until you got to the very end and got the best gear in the game. So, the extra stuff I'm not too worried about. But, I want to wait and see and then just write them a letter and then see where it goes. And if I get a response, great. And if not, then, oh well.
Well, the consistent pessimistic side of me always says that I mean, I applaud you for trying, but I don't think anything's going to happen. Like I said, you may have a better chance with GameStop than you would with Sony themselves. Lethal says that their online listing says what comes in the collector edition, clearly says digital. Online, yeah. Like I said, if you bought it online, you probably have no leg to stand on because somewhere it says very clear that it doesn't come with that. If you walk into a store, talk to a salesperson, clerk, whatever, and they don't specifically mention it to you that it doesn't come with a physical copy of the game, only digital, you may have something there in the slightest. But at best, you're going to get like, I don't know, $15 of in-store credit as a we're sorry type thing.
I was about to say an apology.
I mean...
Yeah.
And only an apology.
Yeah, maybe even
I'm
at
thinking
that.
that was the best they were going to try to do.
At best, maybe even that. So, I mean, I don't know. Keep doing it. I'm not trying to dissuade you from doing it.
I'm not worried about it.
I'm awfully curious as to what happens on the other side of this thing when you're done. To know what happened to satisfy you to stop, or if it's just like, well, nothing's happening, so I've stopped. So anyway, keep us posted on that, and it's good to hear from. We got to take a break, but it's good to hear from you again, and thanks for the update.
Yeah.
So
I plan on keeping the box and keeping the collector's edition anyway. I mean, it's just got the little clear circle stickers that the little seals on the top that prevent you from getting inside the box. So
yeah.
I mean, I can see people and watch a video of people unboxing the thing to look like and see what's inside of it. So that'll saturate my curiosity to it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, Chris, take care, buddy, and keep us posted what goes on, man.
All right, y'all have a good afternoon.
You too, man.
Now.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, when we come back, we'll finish. You bought Elden Ring, you just haven't played it.
Yeah, I bought it. I just installed it. You know how it is. Day one game, put it in the system, get it in there for the sole purpose of getting the update, which is always is. King of Fighters 15 was like that. Elden Ring was like that too. There was a version 1.02 or 1.01a or something like that had to be downloaded. Elden Rings took 8 hours. I'm sorry, 8 hours.
Wow.
It was 8. I'm sorry, not 8 hours, folks. 8 gigs or something. It was 8 extra gigs or something that had to put on there, so I had to go through with that. So it's at least it's updated by the time I get around to playing it.
Well, we'll get into more of Elden Ring. I know Josh is in the chat room. I don't know if he played Elden Ring. It seems like that's a thing he might be jumping into. We don't know. We'll talk to him when we come back. I'll go over the games I played, which isn't much different than anything else I played, but we'll still talk about it. That's all coming up on the show here. Jumping in right into it. This is music here from Destiny 2: The Witch Queen. We have brand new music from Destiny now. I'll talk about that a little bit. But, so this track is called Threshold. We'll be back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. And welcome back to In-Game Chats. Next time I got to remember to go through and make sure I juggle all of my tracks as they come in, because this is the second track from Destiny 2 Witch Queen. I picked 2 tracks from the game, and I was hoping that I figured, yeah, they'll spread out. Nope, back to back for you. So I do apologize for that. This is a track called Light Blade.
Sounds like a boss battle or something.
It could be. I don't know.
One of those bosses at the end of a raid or something.
It very well could be, and probably likely is. I don't know. I'm still working my way through the campaign of the expansion.
That came out when?
That came out Tuesday.
Tuesday, okay.
Yeah. So it hit Tuesday. Yeah.
Then it did come out. That came out Tuesday. KOF, the one I had to pick up, came out Wednesday, Thursday, one of those 2 days, and then
Elden Ring was Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're getting away from Tuesday all of a sudden.
Yeah, so yeah, that should have been spread out. Anyway, by the way, that's what I've been playing. Destiny 2, Witch Queen. There is a 10 mission storyline to go through. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I am currently, I'm halfway. I have 4 more missions left to do to finish up the story.
How's the difficulty on that with your light level?
Difficult.
Difficult? Okay.
Very difficult. So they have 2. So it's an interesting thing that they've done. Normally, the power level that you start at is 1350.
Regardless?
Yeah, everybody's bumped up to 1350. So as soon as you log in,
so if I pick this game up, I'm going to start at 13.
You're going to start at 1350.
Yeah, and I'm probably going to have to.
All your weapons will be 1350. All of everything that's in your vault will be 1350. Everything that is on your person will be 1350. Everything.
Well, it's probably going to be the same case with some things I can't upgrade anymore.
There are, yes, but the interesting thing about that is that at the beginning, at the outset.
Mm-hmm.
I could use those weapons that were not being able to use anymore.
Well, I'm not saying about weapons. I'm talking about my armor. There were pieces of my armor I couldn't update anymore. Like my helmet, I couldn't update anymore, but my chest armor I could. My leg armor was legendary. It was the lion armor, the one with the double jump jetpacks.
Yeah.
That could be upgraded. But my helmet was the Carrack Type 2, old one, and it couldn't be updated anymore.
Interesting. I don't remember them sunsetting armor.
Yeah.
They may very well have, but I don't remember them doing that.
Yeah, certain pieces of armor.
They sunsetted the weapons, though, and prior to this expansion, that level was 1060.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't go beyond 1060 on some of these sunset weapons, so a lot of people got rid of their sunset weapons, which is fine. I never did because I don't trust them enough to reverse their decision and say, because we've implemented this new mechanic, we have to actually get rid of the sunsetting aspect. If you got some old weapons, they're going to be up there, but if you got rid of them, we're real sorry, blah, blah, blah. They'll never do that, I don't think, because of the outrage that would come from...
Well, they've dealt with outrage before.
I know, but we would be very mad. We have some very beloved weapons. Yeah. You have some very beloved weapons.
Song of Justice, Mark 6.
Yeah, I know. Mine is my my really good roll of a blast furnace, which is a pulse rifle, and I really, really enjoy that.
For some reason, my favorite auto rifle of choice is still a Rock Slices. It's a blue.
Okay. It's a blue.
It's a blue one, but I mean, it's solid look and the good rate of fire, and I like the stability of it. I'm just like, this is not a legendary weapon. It's not even purple. It's blue.
Blues work,
but I use it in like the competitive matches.
Yeah, blues work. Every time you start a new expansion, your character looks like the worst thing in the world. I mean, I get with the way that you can outfit your character now, the way they have transmogs and stuff like that. You can make your character look better, but nobody deals with that stuff while they're going through the grind. They only worry about that once they're where they want to be. Then they start looking at, hey, how do I look? Maybe I can attach a shader here to this, or maybe I can put an ornament on this, or look like this, blah, blah, blah. You don't worry about that on the power grind because you don't hold on to that stuff long enough. You know what I'm saying? You get a blue that comes in that's much higher than this other rare weapon or legendary weapon that you've been using.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get rid of the legendary. You just use the blue until something better comes along, and then you can infuse if you want to. You don't waste an infusion as you're doing this level grind because you move so fast.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, your character just looks like, you know, just crawled out of a dumpster and just put on whatever they found. But
some patchwork thing that just throws out there.
It's nothing matches because, you know, they have armor that are in a family of like this set goes together.
Oh yeah, but at this point, my character is still patchwork. I just found a bunch of armor pieces that fit together, to me anyway, aesthetically to me. Like I forget the name of the group of armor it is, but it's from the Earth. I mean, where's that sniper? Devin. On Earth,
EDZ,
you know EDZ, the one with the camo and the
mesh,
and the mesh works and things like that.
That goes way back. Yeah, that was the first. That was some of the first stuff you got whenever you played the first. Destiny 2 when it launched. Yeah.
Those are the arms that I got because they still work. And then I got the chest armors from the one with the Titan.
Boss. She doesn't exist anymore.
She doesn't exist anymore, but I got it from her.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. See how dated I am playing this game?
Yeah, but if you got him there, all your stuff would be $13.50 right now if you jump back in.
Yeah.
Which was the neat thing. What I was getting at was like when I started this campaign, all my stuff was $13.50 and I couldn't go any higher and the missions were set for that. So I pulled out some of my favorite weapons that can't be upgraded anymore, but it was a chance for me to actually use them and be productive with them again, at least for a little bit. And I did that for a little while, and then, you know, went back to what I needed to do. The thing that they've done with this campaign, however, is they have when you start up the game and go into it, it gives you a choice if you want to play the campaign in the classic way or in the legendary way. Brand new, they've never done this before.
Okay.
Classic means you just go through it the regular way. Levels are adjusted. You know, you're basically, you know, you're not going to struggle too much.
I want to say same old.
Yeah, basically same old.
You're
exactly right.
So,
yeah, you're exactly right. If you do the legendary versions, the enemies will always be just one level under being overpowered. You know what I'm saying? One level under you not being able to really do anything. Mm-hmm. The aggression, everything is brought up, but it's manageable.
Mm-hmm.
You can go through it solo. In fact, a bunch of people have. That does not include me. I started the first mission going solo, and then I just pulled somebody in to help out and pulled somebody else in to help out. It scales based on how many people in your fire team. It doesn't scale based on your level. Mm-hmm. It scales based on the people. So if you're just in there, they're not as bullet spongy. They're not, you know, you can manage it. Cover, everything else you got to do, you can manage that. The more people you bring in, the more their health scales. Their ability to kill you doesn't scale. You're still squishy, just as if you were by yourself. But the damage they take is increased. The more people you have on your team.
Are you getting one-shotted?
You can by a boss, yes. Okay. By a regular rank and file or even a yellow or orange bar type person or something like that. No, you'll get close, but no, they won't one-shot you. A boss can, like with a stomping mechanic or a swipe or something. He can do it.
Some you can see coming a mile away.
He can totally one-shot you on that and has done it a few times. The difference being, though, is the legendary version has some raid mechanics involved where if you're playing it with a fire team of 2 other people, each person on your team gets 1 revive token. In other words, if somebody dies, you can revive. I go and revive them. I can't revive anybody else. It's done. I've used that up.
You're done.
If somebody else dies, the other guy can go revive them, and then that's it.
Yeah, everybody's got 1 token. When you use it, it's gone.
And you also only have 35, 40 seconds to make that revive. Otherwise, it wipes. Yeah. Like I said, raid mechanics on this.
Okay.
They're putting a challenge in here, and the reason they do this is because if you get through this, at the end of each encounter within those missions, of which there can be 2 or 3 of those in each mission on the story, you get 2 loot chests open up. Lots of stuff come out. At the end of it, once you finish that campaign on Legendary, you will get a full set of 1520 gear. The cap, I believe, is 1550. So it is maybe the base is 1520. I'm not sure. Anyway, you get to skip that grind and go straight to having the gear that you need, so you can start working on all the tedium,
the heavy stuff, yeah.
all the tedium that you need to go through. So my argument, or my whole thing was, because I was doing this last night, I think I was. And I had a fire team in there. We're going after this boss, and we just kept dying over and over. And I was getting frustrated, and it eventually stopped. I stopped, got away from it. And I told the guys in Discord, and I said, "This last boss is annoying, even with a fire team." And somebody else said something, not anything that was bad. They were just asking about the situation. I said, "Yeah." They said that even as that one was tough, even going solo. And I was like, "I can't do this solo. Doing this solo makes me want to drink Clorox." It's that. Here's the reason why I say that.
Okay.
Not because I hate it, but because I don't have the patience. I get to play Saturday and Sunday usually. During the week, maybe I can get some time in. I've allotted myself some time this week because of the launch of the whole thing.
Right.
I kind of want to be on the same page as everybody else is when talking about the game. I don't want to be behind, and then especially with story spoilers, which, by the way, the story in this is fantastic.
Really?
Oh man, if you do get back into it, just go through the classic mode. Don't worry about Legendary. I'm doing it because, again, I don't have time.
Okay,
I play on Saturday and Sunday usually, mostly, and that's for the few hours that I get to on both of those days. Usually whatever time I get up till about noon. And then that's how much time I can put in there. So I grind all the time in Destiny. You hear me talk about it, where I'm going after a weapon, or I'm going after some stat or some triumph or something. You grind and grind and grind, and that little bar moves ever so closer to your objective. You're doing something. You're not hitting a wall and starting over. You're doing something. You might be failing every time you do it, but it still counts as progression. Even in the smallest sense, it still moves the needle. If you die in this campaign, it's not moving the needle at all. Maybe in the classic version where you can just you can revive over and over and over again and keep going.
Right.
But this one, once we wipe, we have to start the encounter completely over from scratch. We don't pick up halfway through. We have to start again. So that's me hitting a wall. And the reason I keep doing this, and the reason that everybody says, or at least the reason that I push back against being told, we'll do it on Classic, is because, well, no, then it's just going to extend my grind time. I can get through the Classic story fine, but it'll be quicker for me to jump into the Legendary and get this set at the very end of it. With a fire team, without a fire team. But I need to keep moving. My tires spinning, but I don't have no traction,
Right.
So I need to keep moving. This is why I'm doing it on the Legendary thing, is so that I can get this gear at the end and start the grind of what I normally have to do. And because I don't have as much time to put into it to do that. I'm not sure that I would, even if I did have the time. I may look at Legendary as like a challenge that I want to overcome. It might change my complaints about it. But yeah, I don't have the patience for what it does. So I finally beat the boss thing this morning on a 2-man. I kept bringing in 3 guys. It would be me and 2 other guys, and we would try this, and we would die over and over again. We're not using comms. We're just trying to get this thing done. It ended up being me and somebody else, 2 of us, taking out this boss, and we did it barely. And then I just moved on from there. So the story is the best it's ever been as far as this campaign is concerned. Really, really good what they've done, and I hear it gets better. I'm not even done with it. and I hear it gets really good. But everything I've heard is that the praise is put on what they've done with the story. I don't hear a lot of other people talking about the other parts of it, the grind, whatever, anything else like that, but they are applauding this story and what they've done with it. So
I would think the grind wouldn't even be mentioned because we've been used to it for so long. But
yeah,
an opportunity to get to jump from wherever you're at to 1520 with one good run of legendary.
Yeah, you go from 1350 to 1520 by the end of it. Yeah. And this is not from it dropping loot and you having to push yourself up to get to that. Like when you're done, you click on an icon and you get...
There you go.
You get a full set of 1520.
Congrats, you made it through. Here's 1520.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself.
I think it's 1520 armor all the way. So yeah, and I got a little bit of a taste of the weapon crafting that you can do, just a tutorial taste because I'm not through with the whole thing.
What type of weapon crafting are we talking about? Like,
I haven't deep dived into it.
Okay.
Basically, you can set your traits, you know? So in other words, you can pick your scout rifle that you like, and if you have certain perks on a scout rifle that you enjoy, you can work on crafting it to get that trait that you want. I don't know what you would want. If you want a triple tap, you can work on getting triple tap, or you can work on getting, range find. I don't know.
How about polarity?
You mean like arc, solar thing?
Arc, solar.
That's a good question.
Sol.
I don't know.
Because I've got a that hard light that has all three.
Yeah.
And I got to hold the reload button to switch it up. And I've seen that on a sniper rifle. Never seen it on a scout rifle though. It might be. I mean, it's been a while since I played.
I don't think that's gonna, and I don't think that's I don't think it's a thing where you can change the polarity. Like you can change it by spending resources to turn it from a solar to a void.
Yeah.
But you can't.
Not to make all three.
You can't put all three on the one weapon. No.
Okay.
No. That's not a thing that can be done.
That'll be fun though.
And I don't even know if you can change the elemental part of it either. I'm not sure. I haven't looked that deep into it. Armor you can, by the way. Armor does have elemental affinities with it.
Yeah.
And you can change that, which is why I'm thinking maybe you can change it with a weapon. Probably not.
I did. There was one time I had 3 sets of armor.
You can't.
One for each element.
No, I have to say that you can't. You can't.
Okay.
If you remember, maybe you don't. When Destiny 2 originally launched, that was one of the neat things. Well, a couple of neat things is that you could equip shotguns on both your primary and your secondary. You know what I'm saying? Your special and your kinetic and your whatever. You could put a shotgun on both. Used to be only in the whatever the I can't remember the name of that slot, but the second one. Is that my phone? Oh. I'm always worried when I hear vibrations because I don't know if it's somebody calling me about a station being down or something. That's why I freak. But anyway, if you remember, weapon drops in the launch edition of Destiny could be anything. You could get a shotgun, a legendary shotgun, or I don't know. Any kind of a weapon could drop with either void, solar, or arc.
Right.
At some point in Destiny, they changed that. They hotfixed it, whatever they did. It played for about a year or 2 years in. I think about a year in. I had, 3 sniper rifles that were the same sniper rifle. It just one was arc, one was solar, one was void.
Right.
They don't do that anymore. So now, if you get a shotgun that has this name, it will always be whatever that elemental is. It'll always be arc. It'll always be void. It'll always be solar. No matter how many times you try and grind that thing to get a new weapon, it's going to be the same element type. The perks on it will be different, but the element type's going to be the same. So yeah, you can't change the elemental affinity of the weapon or anything. So yeah, a little dip into crafting, a little dip into the story. I like it. There's a massive new area to explore. I say it's massive. All these places feel massive when you first start them. And then you can see exactly how big they actually are once you play them enough to say, oh, it doesn't feel as big as what it felt like. But yeah, it feels massive. So I've enjoyed it. I plan on keep going with it and get the grind. I hopefully will finish up that story tomorrow. I have 4 missions left to go. So anyway, I also played Uncharted 4 and I'm still playing through that. Did I play anything else? Played a little bit of Contrast the other night.
Okay.
You remember Contrast, the one where you could shift into shadow and
I think I've heard of that.
you're that little girl who had an
Yeah.
imaginary friend who could shift into shadow, and it was all told with shadow things. Yeah, It's been a long time since I played that game, and I jumped back into it, and I was like, "Whoa, man, this is a little wonky." The camera was real fast. The movement speed of your character was like just zoom. I mean, just glides across. You don't walk. It just every step is like 7 steps. And you just move real fast through there. It's not. The environment stuff is amazing. It's kind of like what Devil May Cry used to be, or DMC that Ninja Theory did. The environment design is just phenomenal. Character models, things like that, not as great.
Yeah, I was about to ask you which one, Blonde Dante or Emo Dante.
Again, going back to DMC Ninja Theory's version, the level design was outstanding.
Yeah.
That was story. I didn't care, but the level design, seeing the way the levels were built and the way they worked and what they did with them was just fantastic. Loved it. It's the only DMC I ever played. I never played any other DMC than that one, and I loved it. So anyway, we got to take a break. Way over. I got on a tangent on Destiny. Sorry, Lethal Migraine. I know. It's a new expansion. I'll never probably go this deep into it again. But anyway,
You will.
I know.
Of
Coming
course
up,
he will.
we've got music here from Total War, Warhammer 3, Realms of Chaos, I think is the name of it. We'll be back in just a bit. Way behind. Welcome back to In-Game Chat. Music from a game called Far, Changing Tides. The track is called Above. I'm not exactly sure what the game is about, but I do remember seeing a trailer thing for it and had some interest. You build a boat out of different parts and move on to the next place and add to it or something like that. I don't remember. Seemed simple, seemed relaxing, seemed, like a non-stressful type of thing or something just to enjoy. I don't know, but I'm curious about it. Thar says it's on Game Pass next week.
Next week, okay.
So that's great. I was curious about that. I wasn't sure if it was going to hit Game Pass or if it was going to be one of those, you have to wait for a humble bundle thing or something. I don't know. Yeah. Good to know.
Yeah. Oh, you were asking earlier about the price of Destiny Ghost Edition from eBay.
Oh, the very first one I bought. Yeah.
Yeah. The big gray box with the cardboard wrap on the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
The lowest price I saw on eBay was $220, and
That's
the
about
highest,
what I paid for it, actually.
Yeah, and the highest I see is $500 even.
Is that from previously sold or what's available now to buy?
That's all. It's all listings apparently.
Okay.
There's 11 of them, and like I said, the price range from $220 to $500.
Well, yeah. Well,
2014, right?
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. I mean, I'm not looking to sell it though.
Yeah. It's a keeper.
That's going to be one of those that is. And you talked about the Uncharted stuff.
Yeah.
Because we looked up that stuff too. Yeah.
That was a good number.
Yeah, that was a real good number. Am I going to get that kind of money for it? No, but I don't think I'm ever going to sell it either.
5 figures.
I know, but I made a promise that.
No, and I'm saying keep that promise.
Oh yeah.
I know the details behind that promise. I'm like, yeah, keep that promise, man.
And in fact, it was her copy,
Yeah.
and she gave it to me.
Yeah.
At least so she says it was her copy. But anyway, so
Bottom line is you got it directly.
I got
from
it.
her.
Yeah,
So,
I know, and it's autographed by the entire team. So yeah, it's not going anywhere.
Right.
So I usually don't. For the most part, when I get things like that, when there's special editions like that, I usually don't part with them. Unlike Chris, I do open them up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do, however, open them up, and
Yeah, if I'm gonna keep, if it's gonna be a keeper for me, I'm always gonna buy a second copy or a digital. I did that with Streets of Rage 4. I got the limited edition, the one with the big Genesis box. I got that. That's still sitting sealed. I did that, and I'm doing that with Windjammers 2 because I got the one from Limited Run Games. That's going to come in sealed and fine. I'm not going to open that up. And I got the digital copy on the PlayStation Store.
Yeah.
I also did that with Ikaruga when they re-released that.
well, the other part about it is that sometimes when I get these special editions, it's the only way I get the game in them. Usually a game case, a steelbook, something like that.
Right.
Then what I'll do is I'll take that with me to these conventions and things and get people that worked on them to sign it.
Yeah.
If I can't get it signed to begin with. So I will open them up in order to make that happen, or to play the game that I bought, or to display the trinket that came with it if I feel like doing that. Usually I will do that on some of the smaller type things. The $250, $100, $250, $300 things. Sometimes I'll keep those in the box. It depends. It all depends. But yeah, it just depends. It all depends on whether or not I see that this is something that is easily available to buy if you want it. If it's harder to buy, like the Destiny thing you looked at, like the Fortune Hundreds edition of Uncharted 2,
Ghost of Tsushima.
yeah, Ghost, the Horizon 2 Regalia edition, which is not apparently in stock again either.
Yeah, and the one that started it all, for me, Bayonetta.
Yeah,
Only available in Australia, the country that banned it. Go figure.
I know. So yeah, in situations like that, kind of change the way I go about it. But yeah, we'll see. To jump into news and everything else, and well, I tell you, Josh is in the Discord there. So Josh, can you hear me? There, look at that. He's on standby.
There he
He's
is.
just sitting there waiting for. He didn't know I was coming to him, but he was ready for when I came to him. Let's just ask you, what have you played? Because I imagine it's going to fit in with not necessarily the topic, but something that's more recent than Destiny or Warframe or Animal Crossing, like Elden Ring. Okay, PS5, I imagine, right? Okay. Let's get something out of the way first. Regular edition, digital edition, or like special, here's a trophy edition type thing. Physical copy? Okay. Let's start with you running into any kind of bugs? You running into any kind of issues?
Well, there's a little bit of pop-in here and there. I had some weird gravity glitch once, but it was things you expect from an open world game, basically.
Okay. For those of you who just heard now, yeah, I didn't have a button press, so you couldn't hear him. Sorry about that. He just said that, yes, he has Elden Ring. He got it for the PS5. He got the regular edition and a physical copy. I believe that is what you missed out on. And there are just a few bugs there that he has run into. Now, outside of the bugs, just tell us about it. What do you like?
Everything. Basically, it's a really good game. It's just more FromSoft. It's like a little bit of everything they've made so far, since Demon's Souls at least.
Yeah.
It's very big. I spent like 12 hours in the first area.
I can imagine.
Just exploring the area and seeing what you can see and find and things like that.
Yeah, and I mean, if you play the Dark Souls and such enough, you can finish the game in 12 hours or less. So that's like a good way to see how big the game actually is this time around.
What now? Explain that again. If you can beat the game in 12 hours or less?
Yeah, I mean, a regular From Software game you can get beat pretty quick.
Really? I didn't know they were quick games.
Oh yeah.
I guess because you die a bunch.
I'm no speedrunner, of course, but even then, without that, you can finish them pretty quickly once you play them a couple times.
Yeah, it's like one of the allures of the FromSoft games is the replay, the New Game Plus, New Game Plus 2, things like that. So by the time you get to around New Game Plus and Plus 2, you know exactly where to go, what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
So you can run through it a heck of a lot quicker than normal. Besides, your first playthrough anyway, you're looking around, exploring everything, and curious to see what does what. So next time through, you're familiarized with everything. So you can run through it a lot quicker that way. Yeah.
Well, so you said you spent 12. So you've played. How much of it have you played so far? How many hours?
Well, maybe total of 15, 16.
Okay.
At this point. I just finished the first big boss/dungeon of the game.
Mm-hmm.
How many times have you died?
A couple.
Yeah. How does does death work like usual Souls games in this, or is it different?
Yeah, it's basically the same. When you die, you drop your runes this time around, not souls, and you gotta walk back and fetch them, and that's basically it. They put down a lot more checkpoints than in all other games. They're like a special sort of checkpoint where you can't rest, but you can spawn on it, and it's usually closer to a boss or encounter.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
so you do less running back to your souls and where you died than usual.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're only in 15 hours in this, but given the 15 hours you put into this, given the fact that it usually takes around 12 to beat most of their games, and you're 15 in, where do you? There's a couple of different ways we can look at this. Where do you place the difficulty at? Is this as difficult as Sekiro? Keep it in the From Software family. Is it as difficult as Bloodborne, or as difficult as Sekiro, or as difficult as that? Is it so on the difficulty side of things? I don't want to compare like the way it looks, because obviously that'll outshine. You're on PS5, whatever. But the difficulty you have, the differences in like inventory management. Is it on par with one of the previous games, but better than one of the other type of, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, if you can put Elden Ring in a comparison of all the other From Software games, where is it sitting so far with you?
So far, I would put it on a 2 of all games. So,
what is your most favorite of these games would be which title?
I think it's probably Bloodborne.
All right.
It just clicked with me. It's a pretty short game, basically.
So Bloodborne's at 1, and then who's at number, where does it rank? So where does that fall there? Does it go to, Bloodborne 1, Dark Souls 2, Demon Souls 3, where does it fall?
Elden Ring is currently on 2 already for me.
Okay, so it's right under Bloodborne. Here's a question though I would love to know, and you may not be able to answer this because you play these games, but for somebody who is attracted to the world of whatever this is, to the story, to Elden Ring, that sort of thing, but is not attracted to From Software games, what's the ease of getting into this? What is it for, as maybe a new player or as a new to the From Software types of games? Is this one, is it something somebody can easily step into? Is it?
I'd say this game is the most approachable one they made so far.
That's exactly the kind of the phrase I was looking for, which is perfect.
It's still not an easy game. But
no, not looking for easy, but I like what you said, the most approachable.
Yeah. I think at this point though, you know what you're getting into with a From Software title at this point. Isn't that fair to say?
Yeah.
I would say it's fair to say in that regard. However, I believe what's his name, George R.R. Martin has
not easy but doable.
I know
if you got the perseverance.
They brought in a writer to work on the story for this thing, and fans of that writer, of which there are a massive amount, regardless of what you think of the HBO series, there is a massive amount of fans of that writer who may look at, hey, here's some work he's done. I want to play this game. They look at Elden Ring and see that guy's name. We look at Elden Ring and see Dark Souls, Demon Souls from software. We don't see that dude's name. They look at it and see his name. They want to play it.
Rude Awakening?
Possibly, but if he says this is the most approachable of those, that's a good sign, I say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives you lots of options to make the game a little bit easier for yourself. You can get there are some new techniques and moves that involve using your shield or blocking more. There's special kind of creatures you can summon as helpers additionally to players for cooperation. You can't be invaded at all unless you are playing with other people together.
What is the oh gosh, I was about to ask you and now I've completely forgotten what it was. Wasn't ease? Oh, man. Go ahead.
I was about to ask you about the invasions. Now, remember how it used to be a time in Dark Souls, to avoid being invaded, you just had to be hollow or whatever. But you'd have less health, but, of course, you wouldn't be invaded. You didn't have to deal with that. So there's a way in this game to be, I guess, whole or whatever and not be invaded by people online? You can set it that way?
It's basically you there's no special state you can be in to be invaded or not. It's where you get more health or something. It's basically if you have people cooperating with you, you can be invaded. If you're playing solo, you can't.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So you have no health penalty or something for playing solo.
Okay. Right. Yeah, that is a more approachable thing because that was how you had to do it. Like the game was a little more difficult when you were hollow because you had less health. You didn't have as much to work with. But when you were fully when your soul was restored in these games, then you can be invaded at any time that way. So you had to weigh your risks and odds and whatnot. So like in my case, I would always go human just before a boss battle, but on my way to the boss, I would stay hollow so I wouldn't get invaded or whatnot. Yeah.
Man, let me tell you, I'm looking at the review roundups for these things, and the numbers are just massive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Basically, almost all 10s, perfect scores.
Yeah.
Almost all around for this game. I was going to ask you, you're playing on the PS5, performance mode, or which version of the, what are you playing at?
I'm playing performance for the 50 to 60 FPS, I think. Right now.
Right. So that is, what is that, 1080p with 50 or 60 frames per second? Is that what that is?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the resolution is, but 50 to 60 is, I think, what I heard.
What's the other one? Fidelity mode, and that's got...
that's locked on 30.
It's locked on 30, but what's the resolution, do you know?
No idea, actually.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Usually, or at least going by, see what I'm doing with Uncharted, I'm playing in the 1080p mode, but with 60 frames per second. Their fidelity mode, puts it up at, I'm sorry. Performance mode takes it down to 1440, 60 frames per second. Fidelity mode kicks it up to 4K, but only 30 frames per second. And the Performance Plus mode knocks it down to 1080p, 120 frames per second. Now, that was for Uncharted 4. This only has, Elden Ring only has 2 modes, at least on PS5. Well, I think on Xbox Series X as well. There's just 2 modes, and I can't remember what the resolution was on those, but I think it's something in the same ballpark around there. I don't think it's 4K 30 frames. I think it's more like 1440 and 30 frames, and then 1080 60, maybe.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. But it's done extremely well. And have you played anything? I'll just go ahead and ask. Have you played anything else?
Not really, no.
Yeah, just the Elden Ring stuff.
I've been playing Elden Ring once it came out, and before that, just some Deep Rock Galactic and Vampire Survivor, I think was the name of that game.
Oh yeah, Vampire. So you're playing that too, huh?
Yeah.
I tried it a little bit. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, they're $3, man. $3 for something that you can play over and over and over again, which I haven't touched since Destiny's release.
Yeah.
But yeah, really, really. I reached out to the guy. I tried to see if we could interview him. Yeah. I have not heard back from him. But anyway, you want to hang on the line and talk to it? Or did you have another?
I was going to ask Josh a question about the classes here. I pulled up a wiki on the classes here, and I'm trying to see the one that compares to what I always use. I've always used the cleric or the monk in the Souls games of what series, and I'm trying to see a comparison between the classes here. And I'm thinking either it's like confessor or prophet. I think that's about right.
Yeah, the prophet is the more cast heavy one, and the confessor is the melee heavy one, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you want to go more paladin like heavy armor, you start with confessor or vagabond.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, vagabond looks like just a straight knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
What do you think you'll do?
Probably going to be confessor or prophet, depending on how much I want to focus on casting miracles or spells or whatnot. Probably most likely confessor. But then again, you know me, playing these games, I always make 4 or 5 different characters
runs,
or whatever and run through it anyway. So yeah, but my first one's probably going to be probably confessor, prophet, most likely confessor.
All right. Mm-hmm. Well, Josh, you want to stay with us and talk about some of the news when we come back? We're just going to hit some of the high points from the week. So feel free to stay around if you'd like to.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then.
All right, well, hang on. We're going to come back. When we do, we will talk about some of the news that we had. The DICE Awards took place. We'll go over some of those. The games for Xbox Live Gold and PlayStation Plus. Also, Amazon Prime has a lot of free stuff this year as well. We got to look at the VR headset for PlayStation, or the second VR headset from PlayStation was shown off, and Street Fighter 6 was announced as well. So lots to go over, and when we come back, we will do that. Dynasty Warriors 9 is your next track to listen to here. This is just the main menu music, because I don't know nothing about Dynasty Warriors at all to know what would be good music. So here's the main menu. We'll be back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. Music here from Elden Ring. It is it's the main theme from the game. Of course, I had to put that in there. RJ's been looking over the list of classes for the game, deciding what he may do. When do you think you're gonna, fire that thing up?
Like I said, I'm gonna get into it soon, but I want to get into make some progress in Hellblade. Like you said, don't do what you did with Last of Us 2. Don't have these long gaps in between. Yeah. And I was expecting Warframe to consume me as much as I did with friends. I didn't expect to have that much fun with it and to discover all this stuff with it. So that's what's been taking a lot of my time. But while it's still fresh in my mind, like I know what the controls are. I can just hit a pause button and see what the controls are, and it'll come back to me. It hasn't been too long, but I'm gonna make some progress in that before I get deep into Elden Ring.
Yeah. Okay. Josh, you still there?
Yep.
There he is. All right, so let's hit some of the news while we still have a little bit of time left. That main menu. Why do you say that main menu theme hits different?
Usually the From Software games all are a little bit bleak and desolate in their themes, and this
not
is
so
very
bombastic,
heroic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying.
You get a lot of chants and moans and organs and bleak little piano tunes and whatnot. I think the most vibrant one may have been Dark Souls 3 or Bloodborne. Vibrant or whatnot. It's still pretty dismal because on your head you already know what you're going through before you play this game, like I said earlier. But that's one of those. Elden Ring sounds like one of those epic.
What about Sekiro? How did that?
Depressing with the Japanese overtone.
Okay, still depressing. Just sounded Japanese now.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, that was the main. By the way, the song we got coming up next, because obviously, if you've paid attention to how we do this, we always pick the games that have released. Well, Horizon 2 is the next one that's coming up. So, Street Fighter 6 got announced, basically, and that's pretty much it. Street Fighter 6 was announced with details to come later on. It was a 15, 20-second little thing.
Yeah.
And we got a title and a look at,
already had some issues with that title. You seen that?
That's in our thing where it's like, did they just borrow this off of Adobe?
Borrow, they said. Yeah.
An Adobe stock image is exactly what it was, and they slapped a 6 on it. Mm-hmm. The weird thing is obviously the art style that they're going here, they like to do this. I remember when they teased Street Fighter 5, and the art style we were seeing was like, well, this is different than what we expect.
Yeah.
And we got what we got. 6 looks like they're doing that again, where they're going to change up the art style, the visuals of the way that it looks.
Yeah, until we see the actual gameplay thing, I'm going to hold my breath on that, because that's just... what that looked like, what we saw was basically intro screen type things, which could look possibly different, completely different from the actual gameplay.
Doesn't mean the whole game.
The only thing that really stayed to me from 5 was the color streak, because it was all the flashes of color compared to as associated with each character. Ryu would have the dark gray, black and white overtones. Luke, that you saw in the promo, had the gold, blue, and white, more vibrant color things. So there's certain type of color schemes that go with every character. So that's probably what the only thing they're gonna probably transfer over from the next go around.
The look of these characters,
again, like I said, that's an intro stage, not
possibly
the actual,
I know
gameplay. So yeah,
but it reminded me of a much more serious, much more, I don't want to say mature, but you know what I'm saying? Something a lot more detailed version, and this is going to sound weird, but THQ put out a wrestling game, WWE something, I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah.
But the aesthetic of the characters, everything was like, they were overly exaggerated.
I want to say...
Do you remember what that was?
I want to say...
if you say it, I'll know it.
A better example would be WWE All-Stars.
That's the one. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that one. Yeah,
that's the one I'm talking about. WWE All-Stars
we had tournaments in that. That was fun, by the way.
That was a fun game.
Yeah, it was very fun. Yeah.
That was one of the better wrestling games I ever played. Actually,
yeah, it was actually. Yeah, it was.
But the aesthetic that they had was completely over exaggerated. They were like these every muscle was massive.
Put it this way,
everything was big.
Yeah, if you're a wrestling fan, if you remember the Honky Tonk Man, how he looked back in the day, and how he looked in that game, it was like, yeah, that is a definite over the top exaggeration, man.
That is, what is it? The creative license was taken to do this, and so that's the kind of vibe that I got by seeing just this little tease.
Yeah,
was that they're going with this overly exaggerated aesthetic but not, oddly enough, not cartoonish like it is with that All-Stars that you were talking about.
Yeah.
But on a more, like I said, mature, adult, serious tone.
Try to be
sure.
as realistic as possible, given the fact that everything was going on. I mean, I've heard people say that one part was like, I think it was a Maximilian dude talked about how almost grotesque how the vascular, how when Luke's arm swelled up before he got ready, it like the arm swelled up like Popeye, and all the veins popped out. It's like he said it was almost grotesque.
We'll see how it turns out, because we don't know anything yet. We know very, very little about it, but we'll see how that turns out. So
yeah.
What else do we have? PlayStation VR 2 headset design was revealed, and that is essentially it. They showed off what the headset looked like. They showed off what the controllers looked like, although I think we already knew what the controllers looked like. But there was the headset, which, okay, that's it. I got nothing else to tell you about, other than the fact that it came with a cord. Now, we don't know if that's something that you have to keep plugged in or if that's just there for charging, although normally, if you're going to show off the picture of your product, if it can be, you show off the version you want people to see. And if it doesn't have a cord, obviously you're left with the question of, did they just leave out the cord? Does it not have to be plugged in? That leaves more questions than putting the cord in. You put the cord in because it has to be plugged in the entire time you're playing it.
Is this for charging or a potential tripping hazard? Which one is it?
I'm going to go with tripping hazard because I don't think they're doing that. I don't think they're making a wireless headset. Unless it's a completely different SKU. You can get the wired version or the wireless version for an extra $100 or something. You know what I'm saying? Where you can get it wireless. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't think they will. I think it'll be a wired thing completely.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to go wireless for it. I don't know, but I don't think that they will.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Oh, our games for the PS Plus games for March. You're getting Ghost Runner on the PlayStation 5, but on the PlayStation 4, you'll get Team Sonic Racing and Ghost of Tsushima Legends? That's the multiplayer part.
Yeah, that's the multiplayer part, yeah. I don't think I've touched it, but yeah, I think I downloaded it already. Yeah.
Well, you'll get that on PlayStation Plus coming up next month. The Xbox games with Gold, which with Game Pass, I've completely forgotten about. I haven't really been paying attention to, because if you have Game Pass, it's always there.
It's always available, yeah.
First two games you're getting are The Flame in the Flood and Sacred 2 Fallen Angel. Then you'll get Street Power Soccer, and then SpongeBob's Truth or Square. So those are your games. And then Amazon, like I said, Amazon Prime has 7 free games next month. I don't know. They have a list of what they are. I don't really recognize any of them. But, you know, if you've got Prime, well, there you go. You get 7 free games. So why not? What else do we have? Oh, yeah, the DICE Award winners. Digital Interactive something. I can't remember what it's called.
Consumer electronics?
Maybe.
I'm finding out why you.
Game of the year was It Takes Two, a game I haven't played. I don't think you have either. Josh, have you played that?
No.
Nope.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that? Wait a minute. It Takes Two. Isn't that the? No, that's no. It ain't the one with prisoners. No.
No, that was A Way Out.
A Way Out was the
same developer, by the way.
Okay, same developer.
He likes to make the co-op games.
Okay.
That same developer is the game that made Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. A Way Out was their next one, completely co-opable, and also this one, It Takes Two, which is again they're very into couch co-op type stuff, not online co-op. They're into couch co-op. They want people to play together. Outstanding achievement in game direction was Deathloop. Outstanding achievement in game design was It Takes Two. Animation. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Art direction, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Characters, Resident Evil Village, lady, what's her name?
Dimitrescu.
Yeah, she won Outstanding Achievement in Character. Outstanding Achievement in Original Music, yeah, that's what it says. Outstanding Achievement in Original Music Composition was Returnal. Still has not dropped down to a price I'm willing to pay, by the way. Outstanding Achievement in Audio Design, Returnal again. Outstanding Achievement in Story, Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a really good game. It beat out Before Your Eyes, Inscription, Psychonauts 2, and the Forgotten City.
Yeah.
Technical achievement, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Action Game of the Year, Halo Infinite. Adventure Game of the Year. Nominees were Death's Door, It Takes Two, Psychonauts 2, and Resident Evil Village, but Guardians of the Galaxy won Adventure Game of the Year. Family, huh?
I heard that Square wasn't happy with the numbers that game got.
That's the other thing. Yeah, I've got that here as well. Like, the whole thing was like Square Enix is just...
Square is just never satisfied with their product, are they?
Be happy. We talked about that when Tomb Raider came out. Now, that was an exclusive to just the Xbox.
Yeah.
And they still weren't happy with like 20... I don't know what the thing was. It was massive and it was good for a single system release. But they weren't satisfied with it.
Okay.
The Guardians of the Galaxy have a new foe. Lofty publisher expectations. Developed by Eidos Montreal. Guardians of the Galaxy, this goes over the whole thing. Square Enix noted that Guardians of the Galaxy's wave of critical praise in the financial report, writing, despite strong reviews, the game's sales on launch undershot our initial expectations. They also said it kicked off sales initiatives for Guardians last November with the intent of working to continue to expand sales to make up for the game's slow start. Guardians was marked down from 60 to 30 at GameStop. It also went down to 25 for Black Friday. But yeah, they're never... At this point, it's starting to seem like Square Enix is impossible to please. They viewed the 2013 reboot of Tomb Raider, the best-selling entry in one of the gaming's most iconic franchises, as a disappointment. They pulled out of IO Interactive's Hitman series of stealth puzzlers in 2017, Hitman 3 being published independently, and that recouped its development cost in a single week.
1 week.
Yeah.
Got our money back. Yeah.
Avengers, however, did fall short of sales targets. Outriders, despite wide reports of busted functionality, took the world by storm, rapidly hitting more than 3.5 million players. Square even said it's on track to become the company's next major franchise. By August, the developers had said they had yet to receive any royalties from Square Enix, who made that game. So yeah. No, you're right. They can't be satisfied with it. But it did a fantastic job. It's won plenty of awards. Sales may be down, I guess. I don't know. But God, I hope they continue to move on that thing. I hope they continue something with it. Go in that same route with other games or make a sequel or I don't know. I don't know if I want a sequel for Guardians of the Galaxy. That story was so well done and so just put together like it should be. I don't know that I want a sequel from that. If I do, set it somewhere else or bring in somebody new, or I don't know. It was really, really good. And I don't want to have to play another game and compare it to the first. I would rather them give me
a new series.
Well, give me Fantastic Four.
Yeah, someone else. Do that same level of story right for some other franchise.
If you're going to keep it in the comic book stuff, give me and a team-based thing. Give me X-Men. Give me Fantastic Four. Give me whatever the rights you got to. I have no idea, but you can put something there. So that's my thing. So
by the way, found out what DICE stood for: Design, Innovate, Communicate, Entertain.
Okay,
there you go.
Yeah, I didn't finish going over the awards there, but you got the gist of those.
Yeah.
Of who won. Let me see if Guardians won anything else, or if anybody else is worth mentioning here to tell you about. Okay, no. What else do we have before we have to go here? There is no Call of Duty game scheduled to release in 2023 is what I was reading. Call of Duty is a franchise they release yearly, but apparently they are not doing one for this. No, of course they are. Oh, they are doing one for this year. It's the Modern Warfare sequel that they're working on this year. It's next year. There will be no mainline Call of Duty game release.
So no Call of Duty scheduled for release in 2023.
Right. Now, that may change, but I'm guessing that's because everything's shifting over to Microsoft at that point. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
See, I can't say that, though, because whatever game was coming out in 2023 would already be in development at this point.
True.
So I don't know why they stopped or whatever the case may be. It would have been well into development before Microsoft made this purchase.
Right.
So I'm kind of curious as to why they're not doing one or what the reasoning was on that. So, yeah. Anything you read about Josh that you wanted to talk about?
No, nothing really comes to mind right now.
Yeah, was going to say that, and I saw this. There was some footage of the whole Ukraine thing, but it turned out to be it was a video game footage. Yeah, it was from Arma 3. But I actually saw the one that they're referencing. I saw on, I don't know, it was probably through Twitter or something. I don't know if it was Facebook or Twitter or something like that. I saw that. And I mean, without knowing anything, it was like one of the first things I saw when you wake up in the morning, you look at them, let's see what's out there. And there was this, and I was like, wow, that looks pretty bad. Like, because it looked legit. It really, really did. But as they explained in that thing there was what you were seeing was footage from the game. If you saw that footage with clarity, the resolution you're supposed to see it in, it would stand out as this is a video game. But somebody had taken that clip and low-resed the hell out of it. And it looked like it fit. It looked exactly like what they were trying to show off. So that was interesting to see. Yeah. But yeah, it was coming from a video game. Easy enough for somebody to take a clip and put it out there and say this is where it's from and have tons of people believe it. And that's one of the things that I point out is that research, man. I constantly hear where people will. It doesn't matter where the news is coming from. If it is coming from a certain outlet, they just immediately say, well, then I don't believe them. That is fake news. It's not, it doesn't, that, you know, that has no, they have no credibility. Yeah. This news organization has no credibility, whatever. But apparently Jim or Johnny or whoever who sends them a Facebook message of a video with no sources attached whatsoever, well, there is my legitimate source. How? How do you get something fed to you from mainstream media? And I understand that's the case, but that's fine. You can doubt what they say. I get that. But why do you put doubt into that, but not into the other? Why do you not look stuff? There was some other stuff. I can't remember what it was, and I had to look it up. And when I did, I realized that no, that is not what was said. That is not how that went. Not because I pulled it from some mainstream media thing. I just kept going till I got to the point where I couldn't go any further and found out that this is where it comes from. You know? It doesn't come from wherever you're saying it is. It's not that. And this has been done plenty of times. Not by just, you know, people I know, just people everywhere. It's been done plenty of times where they've seen something or they've taken something that fits the context of what they want to talk about or what they believe in, and they accept that as it is with no question. And it's like, I don't need you to be a consistent skeptic, but you know, just it doesn't take much to look into what you find to find out if it's real or not.
Look, bottom line is any news that you get, any news that you consume or look at, you got to do your research. Okay, that's all there's to it. You got to do your research. You can't like read the headline and just go completely off from there and not even look at the article. Yeah. Just you got to do your research. That's all there is to it.
That's it. I'm totally down with you not liking certain news sources. That's fine.
That's fine.
You're more than welcome to have that thing. It's just what I don't understand is why critical from one source but not critical from another source, especially when that other source is just somebody sharing something from somebody sharing something from somebody sharing. Where is the credibility? Although, again, I sit back and I look at that Arma footage and I'm like, that looks legit. Yeah. Would I have shared it and said, wow, look at what's going on over there? No, because I didn't want to share that. It looked. I mean, it was if it was real, it's like God. They just bombed a bunch of people, and now they're trying to shoot down the plane. It's all this other stuff. So anyway, sorry, going off on a tangent. We've got to go. Josh, by the way, thank you. I'm sorry I ran over.
No problem.
Josh knows what he's getting into. Take care, buddy. We'll talk to you later.
Take care.
Bye-bye. We got to go. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. I appreciate it. Thanks for dealing with my tangents of both
Tangent
Destiny.
of the week.
Yeah, with both Destiny and everything else.
Hey, it's part of your charm.
Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, I apologize about that. It's just one of those things. I see that, and it's just, especially when gaming's involved. Anyway, have a fantastic week. We will see you guys next weekend. Here's music from Horizon.